Alrighty, welcome back to the Silver Lantern Archives. Today we'll be doing the first session, at least with y'all, for Divine Larceny, Whims of a Mad God. So, we've already had a couple sessions, but does anybody want to give us a heads up as to kind of what's going on?
Yeah, I can start us off. So Radicus and Missy were hanging out in the sewers in a little makeshift home slash drug den, and we heard some rustling outside, running down the hallways. So we poked our heads out, and Missy decided that it was good to follow, and Radicus agreed. So we went very deep into the sewers there and found a door and alerted some goblins, got a little bit freaked out, and were able to evade them then. Uh, Made it back to the little alcove hiding spot and uh, decided that we would have to uh, hire some professionals or at least tell them what's going on down there. And lucky enough, we ran into two other PCs, adventurers, and of the Adventurers Society, and they were presumably already going down that way. So we came down with them. We were able to help lead them there, and there was a group of five adventurers plus the two druggies, and the doors opened inexplicably to everybody except for Tulio, who has a little bit of an idea of how they opened. And on the other side were some goblins that we proceeded to get into a little bout with. And we are just finishing up after killing a couple of the gobos.
Thank you very much. Go ahead and take your hero point. And that brings us back
Thank you.
to the party moments after the end of the short battle with the goblins. You see Cassandra, Noir, Talia, and Eric are all coming in to spread out, so they're not trapped in the back anymore. What is the party up to?
I got a quick question. This should tell me what kind of runes these are.
Well,
What their purpose is, and who made them.
you you see this room seems mostly like a staging ground. You see a small statue, which was probably used in some kind of ritualistic use. In the past, there are signs of what looked like dwarven architecture, but beyond that, there's too many oddities for you to say for certain what race built this. As you see qualities that lead back to a lot of the old races, but nothing that stands above to say this is a dwarven room.
Absolutely peculiar. It's definitely dwarven influence, but can't make heads or tails of who actually built it. Whoever they were, they're damn clever. Awfully so.
While Hessler is doing his archaeology thing, Tulio is searching through all these goblins, checking to see if there's any interesting little doodads or baubles they might have picked up while in here.
Roll me an investigation.
All right.
You find
No.
a couple of copper pieces, six copper pieces between them, and about four silver. As well, you find what looks like a necklace of a kind, stuffed in one of their pouches. It's a little old and rusted, but
Hmm.
looks to be made of probably silver or iron, some kind of a cotton metal of that color.
Well, if it well, would Tulio, I think, would know with his background in metalworking and all of the fields of artificer would know whether or not it's metal, it's iron or silver, just based on the way it's tarnished, right?
Roll me a blacksmithing check. Intelligence.
Wow, what the fuck is up with these sixes?
It's rather
If I roll another
degraded
six,
and you're not sure. If you took some time and examined it with the right tools, you'd be able to tell, but it's not in the best state.
all right. Then I will take out my all-purpose tool, change it into basically like I guess you a jeweler's eyeglass kind of thing, and take a closer look.
It would take you about 30 minutes to really get into it to figure out exactly what it is. You have the know-how. It's just
Then
going to take you
Tulio
time to do.
will take the necklace, wrap it in a handkerchief, and put it in his bag to check on later.
Fair.
Aside from that, do any of these what the weapons that the goblins were using look like even slightly in good repair?
No,
Just
they're
at like
goblin
an
weapons.
average.
Monster weapons are
Yeah,
never in
alright.
good repair. You can use them, but they will be disadvantaged and do a little less HP. Or not HP, damage.
All right. And Julio's just gonna leave those alone. He's just gonna pick up the rocks he was using earlier.
On the other side, considering you are, I believe you are a blacksmith, correct?
I'm an artificer. I have a proficiency with smithing tools, tinker's tools, thieves' tools, artisan tools.
I don't think you have the all tools one yet. So that's why I was asking specifically of the smith tools. But you do know
Yeah,
with a
I got
good forge, you would be able to uh, melt these down for not good metal, but you could make some use out of it if you really want to. They'd be effectively worth about a fourth in materials to what they normally would be.
normally Tulio would take that because every copper counts for Tulio, but he is already over capacity.
Fair.
He tends to bring a lot of shit around with him.
Absolutely
I
fair.
think anymore he's gonna start getting sagging down, and for a plasmoid, getting dragged down is not fun.
No, it turns you back into a blob.
Yeah, people mistake me for a slime. It's a whole thing.
I mean, you are a slime. You just make yourself look human. But what are Radicus and Miss E doing while the adventurers are being adventurers?
So can I roll sleight of hand for number one
Oh, God damn.
to,
Yeah, I know
you
what
know?
you're doing. Yeah.
Oh no.
Sleight of hand. Do. No one knows.
Nobody notices.
I mean, Julio's right in front of
You're also
her when
looking
she's
the wrong
doing
way.
this. Oh, okay. So I'm facing the goblin next to Radicus.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I don't just hear like the snip.
It'd be more of a as the blood comes pouring
Ugh.
out because it hasn't congealed yet.
Ugh.
And you'll hear me humming. I'll just be like, and another one gone, and another one gone. Another for the catalog.
It's at that point, Miss E, can I get a perception check?
Okay.
Well, Missy, you are really enjoying your snipping of the goblin. You don't notice the individual that has walked up behind you. as Savar. Can I get a description of your characters? Radicus, you do see Savar walk in.
Savar looks. Initially, if you look at him, he would look human, but you begin to notice his eyes are different, more like of a reptile. His skin has parts of it covered in grayish and dark in gray and bright blue scales over his body. He's wearing like he's wearing a cloak and what looks like some kind of leather armor on himself. Though most of it seems that it's worn down over a long period of time of either not taking care of it or not being able to take care of it. He has a staff in one hand and a shield and a wooden shield in the other. And you can also hear like the small sound of hissing and skittering of a rat coming from him or even his hat. And what pay tell is going on over here?
Huh? I like immediately stop what I'm doing and I turn around and I'm like, hello? Who are you?
Missy, you have seen
I
this
was about to ask.
individual before. Not commonly, but you have seen them around Radicus.
Okay, but what's your name again?
My name is Savat. He then like tilts and looks at you. Oh yeah, sure. Radicus is most frequent customer, are you not?
Yes.
Hey, long time no see. What brings you to this part?
Well, I heard the sounds of violence and decided to see what was going on here. And, ugh, seems I missed a party.
Party for some of us, I guess you'd say.
I mean, it
Yes.
could not be over yet. There could be more.
Well,
Tulio
that's just fantastic. Oh, for pity's sake, Radicus, you brought more people down here.
This, I have to admit, this was not fully my idea. Missy was, I would say, convinced me that we should go check this out for our own safety in the sewers.
Way to throw me under the bus.
You convinced me. I wouldn't have done this. The thing that I really didn't want to do was bring the adventurers in, but that's really weird. But like we couldn't have done this without them.
Radicus kind of just face palms. Is like, you brought the adventurers down here into the sewers.
No. We were going to go up, and then they found us on the way.
Radicus, as you're speaking, you see the blue-skinned tiefling, Cassandra, step up next to you. One of your friends?
Acquaintance. He knows these parts well.
Can you tell us anything about the area?
I'll just look to him and be like, just kind of bob my head. It's like, it's up to you, man.
At
Well, I've already
Savar, you
revealed
see
myself, so I might as well.
there is a second tiefling standing behind the purple-skinned one who straightened up right as you walked up behind them. The other one is dressed in rather loose clothing, not really befitting what normally adventurers wear. As you see, some of their wraps look like they've been imbued with a little magic, but this definitely looks like somebody that can handle herself and seems to be at least somewhat taking charge, so probably somebody in charge of the adventurers, considering the way Radicus keeps eyeing her. As I have said, my name
Greetings
is...
and well met.
Go ahead. Savar?
Go ahead.
Nope, you go ahead.
Oh, sorry, I was getting that. Okay. My name is Savar. I am somewhat of the keeper of the sewers down here. I keep the animals from being too much of an infestation above, despite my wishes to unleash them. I mean, you no harm down here, though I am curious to know what has brought this much action down here.
Well, we came down here looking for following a trail of rumors, and Radicus here seems to have run into a goblin problem that we are assisting with. Do you know anything of this layer of the sewers? It's quite a bit deeper than anyone tends to go. As far as I know, even the underground doesn't come this far most of the time.
Can I roll like a history check to see if I have at least heard anything? Remember if I've heard anything?
Even you don't come down this deep. You've heard about it, but down this deep, there are all kinds of monsters and other stuff. It's so far away that has become dangerous.
Uh, my me and my animals don't come down this far.
Your animals?
I tap on my, I do like a flick of my hat and like there's like a small poof of magic as like a rat like comes out of my hat and goes down my arm.
You see Cassandra's twin tails twitch with a little bit of disgust, but it doesn't ever reach her face as she keeps smooth and neutral, not saying anything. Have you heard anything from your friends about what's in the area?
Not too much. They give me what they can, but they're not exactly hyper intelligent creatures.
I'm not surprised.
I mainly use them for. I mainly use them to keep track of when stuff comes down here, or if the guards decide to come down to this area, which they clearly missed because I only knew about your group coming down here when the violence started.
I see. She is going to turn to Rathicus and lean in close. Rathicus, can we trust him?
He's more or less saved my life on a few occasions. I can say that we can trust him.
She nods and then looks back over at Savar. Well, Savar, what will you do then? You seem the source of the violence.
Clearly, an issue has come up down here, and it's time to exterminate it.
I see. And which issue do you refer to? As you see, just subtly, Savar, her positioning has changed from being rather open, if on a little on guard, to the openness has dropped, and she's kind of shifted a little to the side to give you a smaller profile in case this goes to a fight.
The sewers down here are supposed to be peaceful and quiet, so it does not cause problems upstairs.
I don't think
Goblins down here,
Keep going, Savar.
I prefer my peace down. What was that?
Keep going. As soon as I say something, you stop. Then I prompt you to go again, and you stop again. My bad. Keep going.
It's a D&D sidewalk shuffle.
Got it. Look, I like to be in peace down here in order to get my work done, and goblins down here, while not the most regular thing, I prefer them not to be violent down here and cause trouble. Trouble means more people come down here, and that's something I would rather avoid. The last thing I need is the city guard coming into this place.
You don't get much guard down here. It's mostly going to be the adventurers that take these tunnels. Tell me, are you a member of any of the thieves guilds in the area, or perhaps the assassins?
Assassins, no, I do not like bloodshed. As for the thieves, I'm not in their best graces.
Should I be worried about that?
More just disagreements about how to handle guard animals that led to me taking leave.
Which guard animals were you referring to?
Some thieves like to poison and kill the animals. I rejected that and said you could calm them with magic. They said it was not. They said it took too much time or too much effort.
So
It's a difference of philosophy to get the job done.
You work with animals, then?
Of course.
Are you a ranger? Or more likely by your clothes, a druid.
Yes. A druid seeking. Well, I haven't chosen my path yet, but I hope to find it soon.
I'm surprised to see a druid so far from the forests. I didn't think you stayed in cities very often.
Um, I had a different calling. I still seek the peace of nature, but I believe that I can be of more benefit to the cities.
I see. Well, then, if Radicus trusts you, we'll be forced to trust you as well. Welcome to the group. It seems we have a goblin infestation to deal with. Hopefully, we manage to snip it before it grows too big and becomes a true problem.
Yes.
You see, she turns to the other purple tiefling. No, Missy, you all right?
Yeah, kind of okay. I think I honestly am surprised that I didn't get quite too hurt in that fight, but at least I was in the back, you know?
There's a nod. Julio and Talia looks like they took the brunt of it.
I lost a bit of mass. Not to worry, it will recover.
Really? How does that work? Does it like regenerate?
I eat things and it becomes part of my gelatinous mass.
What do you eat? Like, can you eat anything like the rest of us?
I can eat most things. Some things I prefer not to eat, but I can digest.
What do you hate?
Corn.
Like corn on the cob?
It is difficult to digest the kernels sometimes. I don't know why. I have heard similar things happen with humanoids.
Yeah, I think we all have that in common.
You see Cassandra for a moment gets a long off look. Well, that reminds me of the time we tried cord mopping. Didn't really go very well. I much prefer apple.
Yeah. Too. I think it's harder to get a grip on a cob.
I suppose. But we shouldn't stand around for too long. Eric, have you heard anything? As you see, she turns around to the small halfling that has been moving around, mostly unnoticed by the party, leaning in against the doors and listening while y'all talk. Well, I haven't heard anything from these two doors. Haven't checked that last one where Hessler is. Don't think these are locked and don't see any traps, so we should be able to go through pretty easy. Well, then, we'll need to figure out which way we need to go. As you see, Eric goes over to the last one. And he
I
grips
believe
them
I can be
listening.
of some assistance to check what is behind these doors. What'd you say, CC?
Eric's just going over to the last door to listen in.
I'm gonna go to this door here. I'll start from the far right. Does this door have like a keyhole or like space underneath?
No, it's just a pretty simple wooden door. And do
Yeah, but
remember,
there
you
are
have
they
to fully
spaces?
go through it if you want to see through it, because you can't stretch appendages around.
Yeah. I keep forgetting that my pseudopod doesn't actually have any senses.
Yeah, you can grab what, £5, and that's it.
Yeah, that's why I was reminding you. Because I remember this coming up last section.
Yeah. I can manipulate an object, open and close a door, and pick up or set down a tiny object. And I can lift. And I can't lift more than 10 pounds.
£10.
they said these doors aren't even unlocked, so I don't
Yeah,
have
he
to do
didn't
anything.
say they were. Well, they are unlocked. They're not locked, and they don't seem to be trapped, as far as they can tell. And he's going to check the third one. But Savar and Radicus, something that you notice as Miss E is moving forward, and Tulio is coming up to look at one of the doors. Talia is starting to pace again, seeming to get antsy, not liking to stay still for too terribly long, despite her halfling race, which are known for being relatively chill people. And Cassandra, on the other hand, yet again twines her tails with Missy the moment she gets close again.
Mm.
And it doesn't even look like
I'll ask
Cassandra's noticed
Talia.
she's dying it. Oh, go ahead, Missy.
Oh yeah. I was gonna ask Talia. Talia, like, why are you pacing so much? Are you worried?
I don't like standing in enemy territory for too long. There's always markers, traps, or scouts. Something will find us eventually, and we need to deal with it before it finds us.
I know, I know. There could be way more in here. We don't know how deep this goes, honestly.
Only one way to find out.
So
That's to bash down one of these doors and go kill whatever's behind it.
we
You
might as well start with this one.
All right.
Is that where y'all are gonna go?
No, you guys agree?
Yeah, I mean, if Tulio can lead the way and, like, open the
Not.
door and everything.
Well, yeah, the door's unlocked. So
Yeah.
Tulio will actually. You know what? Tulio is going to step back just in case and stretch out a pseudopod and open the door from 10 feet back.
Gotcha.
Could use some extra
Whoa.
space.
Yeah. So Tulio will stretch out his long slimy appendage and open the door. Oop.
You see
Oh,
a long stone hallway appear before you as you creak open the door. You see a couple spider webs along
well
the
that
edges, and it's not very well lit.
well that was anticlimactic.
Well,
Better safe that it's quiet than loud.
I
You
mean,
s-
does it go deeper? Does it look like it, Tulio?
So I can clearly see the end of that hallway.
Uh,
Tulio's gonna walk in. He's ignoring this cobwebs and everything. They're just getting like going into his exposed
They're not up
parts and
around
melting
where you're talking. It's
away.
mostly in the
He's
very
leaving.
corners.
Hmm?
It's mostly in the corners that the cobwebs are, not where you're walking. And
Oh,
as you
okay,
walk
so it's
up,
not like just like a really unused hallway. It's like a very not clean hallway.
Someone hasn't been doing their dusting.
correct. Tulio, as you're
There is
moving
a door
forward,
here.
yeah, that. Continue on.
Hmm?
Continue on.
Yes.
I was saying there was a door, which you also just said, so continue on.
Oh. And Tulio, just in case, will keep his appendage out, but like kind of like pressing against the floor 10 feet in front of him as he's walking forward, exerting like about, I guess, not 10 pounds of force against it.
Okay.
And he's gonna keep walking forward. Boop, boop,
As you move
boop,
down the stairs,
boop.
getting even deeper, you feel once you get to the bottom of the stairs, the air seems to change. As you feel your slime kind of shiver a little bit.
Does that mean it's gotten colder, or do I feel like
Colder.
do I
It's
feel
getting
something's
colder.
wrong? There is a sharp temperature difference down here. Please be aware of it. Also, there is another door. And Tulio will continue walking forward. One more door. I'm starting to sense a pattern here.
It's just a hallway. Fascinating architecture, and not much to scavenge from this area yet, but more doors means more rooms, which means more things.
Did anybody go down the hall with
Yes.
Tulio and
No.
Hessler?
Savar's about to, as much as he may hate the doors.
Yeah, I'll be going too.
Tulio is keeping his pseudopod out for traps, Well, I think we can assume that other door does not bleed down here as well, so we might want to go back and check that before we continue forward. Because there was another staircase leading straight down. Or is it down or up?
That one leads back up.
Going down or up? Sorry, I should have asked first.
That one goes back up.
There is another staircase here that goes up.
Just going to check the door for traps real quick.
Are you proficient in thieves' tools? Because it would be a thieves' tool intelligence check to check for traps.
Bother. No, I am not.
So you'll be doing a disadvantage
would you-
investigation.
I could do that.
Hessler's
Yeah.
already the one doing it, so
With
roll once more.
disadvantage.
Yeah.
Or yeah. Keep on with investigation.
Yeah, because it's still investigation because you don't have the right tools. So you get the 16.
So 6 at 16.
As you're looking through, Tulio, can you stay with the group a little bit, my dude? You're wandering off.
Sorry.
If your character wants to do that, feel free, but I'll get to you in a second. But Hessler, as you run your hands over the door, searching for anything out of the ordinary, it's not really your style to look for traps and whatnot. You're more used to the grandiose, overarching imagery, architecture, the history behind it, the books, all that kind of thing. But you don't see any oddities to the door, so you don't think there's any traps or anything on it.
Well, I'm going to open it unless you two disagree.
I don't have problems with it.
No?
Oh.
As you open it, you see a goblin sitting hunched over a desk. You see a long quill in their hand as they are writing on some kind of parchment. And as the door opens, they say something in Goblin. Does anybody in that vicinity speak Goblin?
No.
Nope.
Fair, so nobody has a clue as to what the goblin says, but they don't turn to look at you.
So it's just going to sneak into the room real quick. Guessing you want a stealth check.
Yes, I would.
Keen.
As you start to move in, you see the goblin reach a hand back towards you for something.
I hand a bottle of ink.
You see they take it and look at it, and then you see, as if annoyed based on what they're saying, it's that's that kind of voice as they turn around, which seems to be, I'm about to bitch you out for handing me the wrong thing, and they kind of stop when they see you, and then they shout and pull a blade from their belt, and as we're going into combat. against this soul goblin. I've got Hessler, I've got Savar, I've got Tulio, I've got Miss E, I've got Radicus. There we go. I got all 5 of you. So, Miss E, you were the first one to react to the goblin shout further in the room. What will you do? You know Noir, Cassandra, and Eric are still watching y'all back, keeping the first room in safety. Or cleared, not safety. Miss E. Miss E. Can y'all hear me? Testing, testing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all can hear
Yep.
me. Radicus, can you hear me?
I can now.
Did y'all's net die for a minute there?
Yeah, I wasn't able to hear.
Okay.
You did break
Ooh, audio Discord is
up a
really
tiny
struggling.
bit.
The one thing I heard was Missy and Cassandra, and that was about it. Sorry about that.
Yeah, Cassandra, Noir, and Eric are in the back watching the first room. But Miss E is the first one to react as they hear the goblin yell out as it notices Hessler ain't a goblin.
You
I think we're
just cut out.
losing you, CC, yeah.
I'm cutting out. Oh boy. Miss E is the first one
Yeah.
to be able to react to the goblin yelling.
Well, I don't feel like I can see them yet, can I?
No, you can't see them, but you can hear some
From
kind
where
of
I
thing
am
going on
now.
through the door on your right.
I'll just sort of kind of get closer if I can.
To remember, every ally you move through will cost additional movement. So to get past Savar, it will cost 25 movement. Because 10, 20, 25. So that's 25. If you
Yeah,
want to get
to
any
get
further,
here.
you'll need a dash. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just stay here.
Okay.
Can I attack still,
Yep.
or can you only do one thing?
No, that was just your movement.
Okay.
You still have your action and bonus.
Yeah. Okay, sweet. Just go to see if I can hit up with my short bow.
That is going to hit. Show me some damage. You also get sneak attack because you're next to Hessler. So roll me that good sneak attack.
Mhm. I thought my sneak was engaged.
No,
And I rolled.
it is not. Let me look at your sheet. It is, oddly enough. I'm going to turn it off and back on. That was weird. So an additional 1 damage from your sneak attack. So you do a total
Because
of 10
I was
damage.
right. I think I was rolling from the wrong sheet. My bad.
Yeah, because you were rolling from Radicus.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's Radicus' sheet,
Right,
not
it's a
Missy's.
sneak.
So either way,
But yeah.
what's your dex score, Missy? Where is Radicus? Radicus, get back here. How'd you move up? Here we go.
I'm alive.
14.
14. So you have 1 less. So you're only gonna do 9 damage instead of the 10. Because that's Radicus'
Okay.
sneak attack and damage from the longbow. So do make sure you're rolling from the right sheet.
Yeah, I apologize.
We
Anything
can't
else?
all be as good as me.
Considering Missy is notorious for missing her short bow shots, I'm not surprised. But anything else for Missy?
No, that's all.
Alrighty, that is going to bring us to Talia, who is going to use their halfling nimbleness to just surge through the party, not caring that y'all are there. She just runs through y'all's legs. That is Radicus's sheet, not Talia's sheet. I almost did it too. As she is going to come whipping
What did
around
I just
the corner.
say, CC?
And she is going to jump into the air, and you see long, dripping green claws appear from her hand. As she is going to bring it down on this goblin, happy to be in the fight. They are going to hit, and they are going to deal a total of 8 acid damage. As you see the claws rake over their chest, burning through the armor, and you hear the sizzle of burning flesh as the acid seeps into the wound. That brings us to the goblin, who is going to scream in pain as he is going to whip around, still looking at... He's going to look between Talia and then back over to Hessler and scream at Hessler, having Hessler been the one to interrupt him the first one he saw. And he's going to take a chop at Hessler's thigh, driving his short sword into Hessler's thigh, dealing 4 piercing damage. But that will bring us to Tudio.
I'm gonna step up here. Can't really do anything, can I? Kind of stuck behind Savar and Z, and I'm assuming everyone else is in that room, huh?
It's one big conga line.
You did just see... You know Hessler's in the room, and you did just see Miss E and Talia run by. Because Talia just ran under your fucking feet. They had to go feist.
If I were to use my amorphous ability to slip out of my clothes, could I slip around everyone without like taking that that movement penalty?
Roll the ability.
Oh, what? There you are.
No, because it takes time to get yourself that low. And you'd still have to be dodging their feet as they are also moving around. So you wouldn't be able to get around it like the halflings can.
Then Tulio will, I guess, just chill for now because he can't do anything.
Gotcha. That's going to bring us to Radicus.
I'm gonna run over to the other side of Hessler and take a stab with my rapier.
Alrighty. Where are you? Do remember you can't end your turn in any one square. And you're currently way back with Savar.
Oh, sorry. Frog, did you move me to the other side of Hessler?
It's stuck.
That'd be 10.
The token.
Give me your token.
I can't.
That'd be 10, 20,
Yeah.
30. You need at least 35 feet to get over there. Do you have 35 feet of movement?
Yeah.
Nope, I have 30.
Then if you want to get in there,
Well,
you're going
that
to have
sucks.
to dash. Because you can't end in your ally's square.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll help out whoever comes after me.
Alrighty. Gonna run down there and hide
I'm
next to
good.
the bookshelf?
Sounds great.
That brings us to Eric, who's still watching things down here, waiting to see if anyone comes running for the sound, as is Noir and Cassandra. Savar. What will you do, my friend? Ah, Blue had to walk away for a moment. So, Savar is going to... You are going to attempt to cast Poison Spray, but how can you get in range to cast Poison Spray? Let me see the spell. Let's see. You have to get within 10 feet of it. So he is going to step up into Miss E's business. He is going to hold out a hand and make a quick chant. He is going to cast Poison Spray before stepping back and out of the way. So they're out. They are going to need to make a Constitution saving throw against Savar's attack. Savar is going to hit, dealing a total of 10 poison damage to the goblin, which is going to bloody them. And does Poison Spray do anything else? No, it just does a lot of damage. Okay, cool. And that is it for Savar. Which brings us to Hessler. Hessler, you've been stabbed in the thigh.
Why do I keep getting in these positions? At least move out of the way. And he still has reactions, so... Yeah, fuck it. I'll have to firebolt from close range.
That's gonna miss. Do you remember melee version? You would have disadvantage. Since you are doing a long range attack in melee.
Doesn't matter.
Correct.
Yeah. Because I assume darts were melee weapons as well.
Yeah, they are not.
Bother.
Alrighty,
That is all.
That brings us to Miss E. Miss E, what you up to?
Nope.
Did I skip somebody? No.
So, I am going to get out of the way and come up on the goblin for some
Close to close, stabby.
stabs.
Unfortunately, like always with Missy, that is gonna miss.
And that's more like it.
I don't know why Missy just rolls absolutely terrible when she's trying to hurt somebody. Whenever she's trying to seduce somebody, she does fine. She is not a fighter. Anything else for Missy?
Yeah.
Is that a no?
That's all. Yeah, that's a no.
All right, it's going to be to Natalia, who is still attacking from behind with her kind of dripping, extended hand. She's going to try to dig her nails into their back. She is going to hit. And she is going to do a total of 5 acid damage. This time scoring the back of his armor and ripping his little scarf as he screams even more as the acid burns into him. Which brings us to him as he's pissed off at this little angry halfling that's behind him. He is going to whip around and try to drive his sword into her neck. He is going to manage to hit her, and he's going to do 5. She managed to mostly dodge out of the way, but he scores a blow along her bicep. Which only seems...
like a lot.
Yeah, you're cutting in and out.
I don't know why. My ping's low. But Talia does manage to get her attack in, and he manages to get her back, scoring a blow on her bicep. Can y'all hear me now? It's still breaking up?
Yeah, you cut out at bicep briefly and you got and still.
My ping hasn't changed. Give me a second. Testing, testing, testing. Can you hear me?
Unclear
Yeah.
so far.
She
Mhm.
gets cut on the bicep with the goblin sword. Did y'all hear that?
E?
Kind of. But Tulio's turn, all right?
Kind of. Am I still breaking up?
Yep.
Testing, 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 testing. Did y'all hear
All
all of
right.
that?
Every time you say testing, yeah, that works.
Okay. I'm watching my audio, seeing if I see any breaks or anything. I don't see any issue. Everybody leave and rejoin real quick. Discord might be going funky because as far as I can tell, my ping's staying solid. Please hold while we have some technical difficulties.
Looks like you're going to
To the shadow realm, Jimbo.
What'd I
Alrighty.
miss?
Nothing yet. Can everybody hear me?
Far.
Yeah. Try saying she sells by the seashore.
I'm going
I
to
cannot
stab
say
your
that, but
plasmoid behind with an angry pitchfork.
Yeah, loud and clear.
Cool.
yeah. I mean,
But Talia has just been stabbed in recompense for stabbing the goblin. That brings us to Tulio.
Tulio will walk into the room, crossbow out, and he's gonna shoot the goblin. Because I don't have any melee weapons, I need to get one. Fair. I miss.
Unfortunately, yes, that is going to miss as he steps back, dodging another series of blows from Talia, who is going for the throat. But he's getting pushed right back into Miss E. Anything else from Tulio?
Tulio will cast magic stones on the rocks. He keeps like just in his body on the three
Gotcha.
of them, so they're ready to go. Go the next time he needs them.
Gotcha. That's a bonus action magic stone. That brings us to Rathicus.
Oop, I was muted. Okay. Yeah, I would like to attack with the short bow while I'm hiding in the corner.
That's on the attack.
Pop up from behind the bookshelf and go, twang, bitch, twang. I've got some Irish twang. Or is it country? I don't know. I got the country twang. Twang.
Southern twang.
I don't know if I can say that. I am something.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately,
I think
however,
that'll cut it.
the intense barrage of blows is taking everything for this goblin to stay out of the way of the constant barrage of arrows and attacks coming up. And he keeps having to move, making it hard for you to get in that shot. And the moment you let go of your arrow, thinking you have a solid shot at the side of his head, he suddenly lunges back, bumping into Miss E, making him stumble forward again, missing the shot.
I wonder what they bounce off of.
He's tiny, so her thoughts.
That works.
Anything else from Radicus?
This being
Alrighty, that will bring us to Savar as the others are still
Sad.
watching the entrance.
I'm all good.
All right, I'm going to one, then gonna be 25 again here.
5,
I look over at this
15.
goblin.
That'd only be 20.
That was 10 to get over the spot where the guy where he was.
You've moved 15 feet. It was an additional 5 to get through Tulio. So 20 feet.
Okay, yeah, sorry about that. All right. All right, yeah, I'm just going to look at this creature, and raising my hand, I cast Inflict Wounds.
Okay.
Why is that? Okay, that 4 was not supposed to be there.
Yeah, just
I
reset
turned
the
on my
plus.
modifier and I didn't supposed to add that. So
Turn it on and off again. So you get an 18, which is going to hit.
that's 13 necrotic damage.
Which you see the necrosis surge into his body, and he tries to scream out, but the black, his flesh starts to die off quicker than he can handle, and it quickly overtakes his throat and chest, his heart stopping within seconds as the body collapses to the ground, his screams only going to the grave.
May you serve life better as fertilizer.
Well, that would brew some.
All right, well, that's taken care of.
You know, you.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Baticus, you've seen me do like nature stuff before. You've never seen me do something like that.
What, do I want to know where you learned that?
It's better you don't ask questions. Now, come on, we've got more to get rid of.
Okay, you definitely were an asset to us. I'm glad you're coming along. Not going to cross you anytime soon, I don't think.
Esler's just going to pick up his ink off the corpse.
Fair.
Yeah, you just see him like taking his hand and just like wiping the leftover goblin on his cloak.
There is
Does anyone else find
was some jellified goblin flesh that sunk onto Savar's hand from how quickly it rotted from his touch. It was bad.
Whoa.
out of curiosity, Hessler? What was the goblin doing in here before you walked in? There seemed to have been a pause before the attack started.
I'm pretty sure it was writing something. It asked for something. I gave it a bottle of ink. I don't understand Goblin. They don't do much for artifacts, so it's not one I really picked up.
Tulio, is this the desk over here?
Yep, that is where he was sitting.
Tulio is going to step through the jellified mess, not giving a shit, and take a look at the documents, whatever the goblin was writing down. Is there any language that is discernible to anyone?
It seems to be written in a language you don't know.
It might be a good idea to get this translated. I shall take it with us. And Tulio will take all the papers and fold it up. Well, first he'll shake it to make sure the ink is dry, and then fold it up and put it away.
Sure.
I'm gonna turn to Missy and be like, "Hey, Missy, is this the main dude that was yelling at all those guys when we were hiding outside the gate?" I'm gonna look a little closer at him, or what's left.
I mean, would I know based on me hearing, his last words?
You don't think so, but it was in Goblin, so it's hard to tell.
And then I'll just look at Rodicus and go, I don't know, man. It's a goblin. It's all just gibberish to me. I can't tell them apart. They're all just, ugly fucks.
You
Fair
see
enough.
Talia.
I'm gonna kind of rummage a little bit more
You see
around his
Talia
body.
nudges the body with her foot, making sure the little bugger's dead.
I don't think it's getting up from that. It's quite gone.
Excuse me. Tulio will walk past Miss E and Savar, his boots squelching from the jellified goblin gunk that he walked through. Just
Hessler, you said you were looking around. What are you looking around for?
Did you say that to me? I missed the first half of your message.
Somebody said they were remaining to look behind. What are y'all looking for?
Julio said that, and they grabbed the papers.
Somebody said that
Yeah,
afterward.
I grabbed the paper that was on the desk.
Yeah, and then I said that I was inspecting the dead goblin body.
Okay, I thought I heard somebody said they were looking around the body, so it was probably Radicus. I thought it was Hessler. My bad.
Yep.
Oh, no, we are not in initiative anymore. My bad. Let me remove that. But, Radicus, what kind of things are you looking for? And don't open any doors or go anywhere else before I move on to the next room.
I'm not. I'm just moving my.
But Radicus,
I'm looking more so just around the body, see if he has anything extra on him, or see if there's anything else out of the ordinary for a goblin of this type to be carrying.
you're not really sure. You see, there was a pouch on his waist, however, it is now covered by his organs, which kind of sloshed out when his torso liquefied.
I'll take a dagger and kind of see if I can push it off to the side or slice around it and see if I can get to the pouch.
I mean, you can
Don't be
get
a
to
wuss
it.
about it. If
It's just covered in gunk.
pass it here, I'll clean it off.
Yeah, I'll just squelch straight through it and all right, all yours.
Simple enough.
You clean it off, and
What do you see in there?
somewhat unsoil it, but the amount of guts and whatnot that were on this thing is rather resistant to basic magics. It would take quite a while of cleaning this thing to get that stench out.
Well, if there's anything worthwhile, pass it back real quick. It's yours if you want it. But
It smells like home. I'll open it up.
it smells worse than a crypt.
Home sweet home. I'll check out what's inside of it.
You see there is excuse me. A couple coins in there. 2 copper pieces, 7 silver, and a single gold piece. But more interestingly is a small chip. And you see there is an emblem worked into it. It almost looks like a table with 2 lines and a diamond set on it.
Table with 2 lines and a diamond set on it. Okay. Hey, Hessler, have you seen anything like this before? I show him the little chip.
Yes, in a history.
Yep. You have advantage. You don't need the advantage. Hessler, you immediately know this, and you realize things are not all that it has seemed, because that is a mark from Candlekeep,
Huh.
the great library to the south, the fortress library.
Hesser's somewhat familiar with Candlekeep. Well, that's peculiar. You don't see those tokens very often. Are you familiar with Candlekeep at all?
No, I'm not. Educate me.
A seclusionist order of knowledgeable folk. You kind of need to be very important or be a member to get in.
You think this goblin had what it takes to be a member?
I doubt that. I'm not extremely familiar with Candlekeep, I just know someone in there. But that might be worthwhile to hold on to.
I think it might be best in your hands. You probably would be the most to fit the part out of the group here. No offense to anybody else. I'll
One
hand
day,
him.
maybe, but I'll hold on to it for now.
I'll take the pouch of all the other coins and pocket it into one of my large, more or less cargo pants pockets.
Okay. So what will the two of you do? As you can see, there is a bookshelf to your behind, to the south, a table to your right, and a desk to the north.
I'm guessing it's all written in gobbledygook.
Yes. There is something that you do understand, however. In the corner of the room, there is a large easel set up with what looks like a sketchbook. And it is filled with pictures.
Yeah. Take a closer look, obviously. All the knowledge.
Roll me
Every
a
single
history.
last scrap.
You
19.
start to flip through this book and use these sketches of famous places. You see the palace here in Watersdeep. You see the second son of Alterel. You see the fortress of Candlekeep. You see some famous dwarven entrances. You see what looks like the gates to a hidden elven city, all sketched out in beautiful detail.
I'm not sure to sell this or study it, but it is definitely coming along.
And at the very end, you see the image here seems to be of the drawing of an unfinished drawing of the door in which your party came through to enter these ruins.
Does the paper look to have been worked recently, or is this quite old?
Very recent. If you had to guess, this book isn't more than a year old, maybe two.
I'm wondering if our mushy pile of body parts is the one to write this, but I'm not sure.
You do see
Maybe
there
paper
are a
was
set of charcoals, laid out on the table to your right.
Either he was very smart for his species, or I'm greatly underestimating goblins.
They won't do him any good now. He's dead.
And I think it'd be a hard thing to bring him back. Not that I think is wanted. He seemed pretty hostile.
I mean, we did surprise him. As you see Talia walk out the room.
And not enough for he didn't stab me first.
To be fair, he didn't stab anybody till after Missy shot him.
I don't know why. I get the feeling we probably shouldn't have killed that goblin. I mean, you see a goblin just sitting at a desk writing. I don't think you're supposed to kill him. Oh well, say la vie.
Oui.
He's floor soup now.
So, what will the party do? You know Cassandra and the others are still watching the south, and y'all can continue on if you want. If you want them alongside, you can always go and gather them up.
Before we go deeper, I might go and grab Cassandra and then come back.
Okay, well, Miss E is heading south. What are Tulia and Savara up to?
Julio will walk up to this door here and take a close look at it. Tell me, Savar,
Yes.
do you think we should continue or join up with the rest of the group?
Well, I've been inspecting the other rooms. I'm sure we can go like a little further and not risk causing too much other problems.
Yes, If I had to guess, I would say most of these rooms are set up similarly, probably around the same size.
Worst case scenario, there's more goblins. We have to be trying to fertilize it.
Yes. I'm sure with that one spell you did, you can easily handle it, 1 or 2 goblins in
Uh,
combat.
Well, calm yourself. I can't exactly use that spell all the time. It's kind of a. I haven't fully mastered it yet, so I can't use it all the time.
That is unfortunate.
All right. Well, lead the way. Unless you want me to go first, because, not gonna lie, you're looking slightly smaller than when I saw you earlier.
Well, no, you saw him at the exact size he is now. You
Oh,
walked
sorry,
in.
I didn't know. You have the blade token now, so I thought you took more damage.
Oh, I did take damage, but this is the first time you've seen. This is the only time you've seen Tulio as like just kind of diminished. Like
Okay.
his clothes are looking a little saggy.
Got it.
Tulio
Uh,
is going to check the door for traps.
Alrighty. Do you have thieves' tools?
I do have thieves' tools, I believe.
Roll me an intelligent. Um,
I have the proficiency with them as well.
Yeah, so intelligence thieves' tools.
you're an artificer, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
You start to go over it carefully, inch by inch, Tulio, and you know there's a lot of damage to the door, as this door doesn't look as well cared for as the ones were up above. This one seems older, the hinge is a little more rusted. The wood almost warped a little bit. In your opinion, probably. Are you familiar with carpenter's tools?
I am not. Thieves, tinkers, artisans, that kind of stuff. But the all-purpose tool does give you like proficiency in any tool it becomes.
Which you're not. You don't have it in that silo right now, so it doesn't matter because it's
Yeah.
currently in a jeweler set. But you're not sure exactly what happened to this wood, but it definitely looks warped and it'll be a little hard to open. A good kick from like Talia or somebody should get it through, but it won't be as easy as just pushing the door open.
This door looks a lot less well kept than the ones upstairs. If I had to make a educated guess, I'd say people haven't been down here in a while. Good chance there are no goblins behind this door, but I don't know if I can open it. Are you a strong man, Savar?
Not really, but I have an idea. Can I use my thorn whip to grab the handle and then we both pull?
If I'm not mistaken, Thornwhip needs a creature target. Roll it.
Yeah. Let me double. I can never remember what stuff it says creature and what stuff doesn't. Hold on,
What's a
creature. Oh
creature?
yeah, it says creature. Dang.
Well, it does not hurt to try. And Tulio will try to open the door. Like he's gonna try to put as much force as his squishy body can.
We'll get to that in just a moment. Meanwhile, Miss E, you have just entered the room with Cassandra, Noir, and Eric. You see Eric is listening quietly at one of the doors again, while Cassandra is keeping a lookout. Everything all right on your end? You hear from Cassandra.
Yeah, we just killed somebody who was writing at a desk. So maybe it was important, maybe not. But none of us could communicate, so it was only one way that was gonna end. Um, anyways. But I was just wondering if maybe you'd wanna tag along. I think like Noir can handle it and Eric.
We'll want to keep as a group. We were watching this room, but if you're continuing forward, we'll come with you.
Yeah.
We've noticed that door over there. She points to the far left over here. That one seems to be blocked by something from behind. Not locked, but barricaded enough that it would take a concentrated effort to get through.
Hmm.
We think the
Interesting.
goblins may have held up that way for some reason.
All right. Good to know. What about the other door that Eric's by?
We haven't gone through it, but considering y'all went that way, if anybody's going to come through and get behind us, they'll be coming through that door, which is why we're watching it.
Yeah. Totally makes sense. But yeah, since we were going deeper, I just wanted to give you a heads up if you wanted to come with us. I didn't want to get too split.
A smart move. Good you haven't lost your wits, Missy. As you see her tail twine around one of her tails twine around yours again, and she is ready to go with you.
All right. And then I'll just start walking with her and back up. Whoop.
Go that way, Missy. You see Eric is taking up the back with Noir just in front of him. Tulio, at this point, or before I get up to Tulio, Radicus, what are you and Hessler doing as y'all finally come out of the room?
I think our best bet is just to follow the group to the north at this point.
Yeah, I think we've exhausted what we can do here. Keep on heading.
It's right about that time everybody to the south hears a crash as Tulio is slamming his shoulder into this door. Tulio, roll me an athletics. You don't get the door open so much as you go through the door, shattering the old rotten wood to bits. As you come stumbling
Whoa.
in, everybody hears the crash and then a bunch of clatter. Missy, you feel
Well,
Cassandra tense, ready to run after the others at the sound of the noise.
Yeah, I'm a little bit tense too. Ready to
While I
go.
admit that was effective, I don't think that was meant. I thought we were trying to be quiet.
Theodore was more rotten than I thought. I originally estimated.
Mhm. It
Well,
looks like there's nothing in here but death. So
yes, we should let the dead lie. Because I'm assuming all I'm seeing is a bunch of
You
bones.
see, there are a lot of bones scattered across the ground, but Tulio, there is something else of interest. Sitting on top of what looks like probably an arm bone, or wrapped around an arm bone, there is a small golden bracelet over on the far side of the room.
Well, that is interesting. Tulio will start walking up to the bracelet.
Hey, Tulio. Be careful. Don't you have a little guy that you can go out there instead?
That is true, but first, let me just. And Tulio. Would you guys mind waiting about 10 minutes?
If I hear any loud noises, I'm running in there.
Fully understandable. And Tulio will start setting up a ritual to detect magic.
Gotcha. It's at this point Talia has run up a little bit closer because things are being loud and she wants to go figure out what's going on. Missy, did you go closer to the noise? Is everybody else moving?
Yeah.
Alrighty.
I'm
Eric,
just
Noir,
slow
and
with my
Corinda.
token.
Where did your token go? Where did Missy go? Missy, Control Z.
C is right there.
There you go.
Yeah, I see you.
She disappeared for a
Okay.
second there. That was weird. Alrighty. But is anybody else moving up into the room or just letting Talia and Tulio handle it?
I'm just going to move in to get a look at the room real quick.
You are
And-
now standing on
oh.
Talia.
Yeah, and I can't move my token. Thank you.
Tulio's like slime arm is just,
Gotcha.
like making like various like arcane
There you go. That's fine.
gestures, making arcane symbols just in the slime. And he's speaking in his weird slimy voice.
Just one of you. Just
What
so
are
I
you
can
doing? You hear
read
from
the room.
Talia behind you, Tulio.
Tulio does not break his concentration on it, but he like like another slime appendage. Like he gestures at the golden bracelet on the arm bone.
And pointing at it will help you get it? There's some kind of ward?
I'm pretty sure if I respond, the whole vocal component of the ritual detect magic will get interrupted, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh.
You're setting up the circle with like salt or something,
Oh, okay.
and then you do the
thought-
cast at the end.
Okay. No, I am first checking to see if there's any magic aside from in this room. I am pretty sure there is, based on the fact that there's just a gold bracelet on someone's arm bone, but it does not hurt to be sure.
There's a nod. And she'll stand next to you and wait. Does anybody else do anything while Tulio is casting?
I go north just to keep an eye on the hallway.
Really?
But Cassandra does come up as well to see what's going on, hearing the movement of a casting going on. Missy, are you going to go with her?
Yeah, I'm just gonna follow.
Ah, hello, Cassandra, Miss E. I have found something that I think might be interesting. Just checking to see if it is or just some simple jewelry.
Ooh, I don't think any jewelry's simple.
Essler, how well can you identify items based on who made them?
Pretty damn well. Easier the older they are. There's certain tells, especially comparing dwarven and elvish make. Dwarves kind of they don't rust as much. There's some alloying they do. It's some sort of trade secret, I'm guessing, and elves looks almost grown at times. It's an art, but I'm pretty good at it.
Can you do it from a distance?
It's a good question. Can I enter? You can determine the monetary value of art objects more than a century old. I mean, doesn't have a limit as long as I can see it, I'm guessing.
You glance over it. You start to look it over. You recognize this. It is your best ability. Be a rather common piece from about 300 years ago, made by the dwarves of the north.
Oh, the Mag Dwarvish. No identifying, no lettering that I can see at least. Once that Tulio makes sure it's safe, I'll take a closer look. Maybe there's writing on the inside.
Will help with that. If it is dwarven, and I trust that you know your dwarven stuff, I will assist you with identifying it properly.
Thank you when that comes. Don't forget the ambience draw proper.
You see, Tulio, after you finish your spell, you don't detect any magic coming, at least from the item, but the walls are thick with abjuration magic.
Abjuration magic.
Yep.
Remind me what that is? I'm
Wards
just...
and whatnot. The defensive magic.
Well, I can't detect any magic from the bracelet, but wow, this whole place is thick with orbs. Active orbs all throughout the walls.
But just this room, or is that is that all the walls, even the ones outside the door?
What detect magic? What's the range on that? I forget.
Like 60, and it's just your sight line.
I believe detect magic's 30
It's
feet.
detect magic is self.
Yeah, and then it has a
Since
range
present
of, I
magic
think, the 30 feet, the radius.
Yeah, yeah. So everything around me. So everything within 30 feet of me has a magical signature. All the walls.
Just asking
It's,
about the ones in the hallway, or is it this room as well?
It's specifically this room that I can see.
I can kind of sense the halls as well, but in this room, very much magic. Lots of abjuration magic. But the bracelet, Tulio will reach down his pseudopod to grab the arm bone. He's not touching the bracelet and lift it up.
You
I can't
see
detect the.
the bracelet clatters to the ground as you move the bone. The flesh that once kept it in place being long gone, and it's slipping off now that it's been disturbed. You see Cassandra steps forward, running her hand along the wall. There are runes carved into them. I didn't notice.
Wasn't where did we notice all the runes like carved into the doors and stuff? Like,
Yeah, but not the walls.
yes, I
Anything you
assume.
recognize?
No. They don't look like common wards. They don't look like the original lords either. I'm not entirely sure what these are.
A lost form, perhaps?
Maybe they're tiny. As you see, she has to lean in really close to really get a look at them.
Hmm. Heslo, did you grab any you? I think I saw you grab that ink there. Did you happen to grab any paper as well?
I've got a good bit of paper. I grabbed it all for the mapping. Well, parchment, but close enough.
Perhaps we can take some rubbings of these runes and have them investigated later.
There was charcoal in the other room. Um,
Talia, would you mind grabbing the charcoal? While I attempt to pick this bracelet up without touching it. I don't detect any magic, but it is better safe than sorry.
Why don't you get nerdy? And as soon as she's talking, y'all hear a gasp from Miss E as Miss E is shoved suddenly towards Cassandra, who immediately catches her. But you all see an issue.
Of course, there's goddamn skeletons.
As skeletons stand up,
Bones.
brandishing weapons, and a fight begins.
God damn, I was thinking of looking at the bones.
As we're rolling initiative again. Let me put numbers. Oh, they have numbers. They're just hidden for some reason. Bloody jump gate being dumb. There we go. So let's do some initiatives. Boop. 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 Alrighty, is everybody on the turn order? Got Eric, Noir, Cassandra, and Talia. I've got Tulio, Savar, Hessler, Missy, Radicus. Alrighty. Cassandra is the first one to react, and she is not noticing the one that has risen up behind her. She is going to reach for the crystal orb on her belt. You see magic rings or magic circles start to appear out of her, and she reaches out with her hand, launching a bolt at number 2 that just shoved Miss E. Unfortunately, she was a little off and a little surprised, so the skeleton is able to shift out of the way as the bolt of magic slams into the wall behind it, and all of y'all see an aura shimmer against the wall, stopping the wall itself from being damaged. Miss E.
Uh, uh, I'm definitely gonna try to stab number 2 next to me.
That is going to be a hit. You do get sneak attack due to Tulio being there for 11 damage. Anything else from Izzy?
Nope.
Alrighty, they'll bring us to Savar.
All right. Savar is going to make his way down. That's 10, 15. All right. I'm going to target number 4 probably, and I'm going to use chill touch.
Okay. I believe you're going to have disadvantage.
Why? I have direct line of sight.
Yeah, but you have 2 creatures in melee with you.
Oh, right. This isn't I keep forgetting this thing's not a save spell.
Which is why I'm like, I think that's a attack spell.
All right. Let's see. Disadvantage. Just make sure I'm reading the spell right.
That is going to hit. You see, it doesn't do as much damage as you were expecting, but it does hit them. The cold, bony hand grabbing their face, and the skeleton swinging its bone knife at it.
Doesn't it get a debuff for being undead?
Not from Chill
doesn't
Touch, I
work.
don't think. I believe if they don't regain
You hit it
points.
undead target, they have disadvantage.
Oh, yes, you are correct. Well, that was the part I had forgotten. So they have disadvantage on their next roll.
All right. I think that'll be my turn. I'll just move out of the spot so everyone so they can get more stuff.
Gotcha. That's going to bring us to skeleton number 4, who is going to slice at Hessler, who's standing next to them. With disadvantage, that is a 16, which is going to hit. Hessler, you are going to take 5 damage, and you are going to have disadvantage until the end of your next turn on attack rolls.
Yeah, I'll take that. How much damage did you say?
5 slashing.
5. There it is.
Are you bloodied?
Yes,
you are.
I
So
just
keep
put
the
that
blood
on.
ticker on. Yep. That brings us to Raticus.
All right, I am gonna move up into the doorway, and then target number 4 with a short bow.
That is going to hit. Also, you have before that. You also have disadvantage.
Oh, I have disadvantage?
Yep, because of number 1 and number 2 who are both in melee range.
Okay.
Also,
So,
they both get attack opportunities against Savar, but I forgot to do it. But they'll have
great.
disadvantage against y'all, since y'all are on the corner.
Okay. Do I still hit with the disadvantage? Should I reroll?
You need to roll to see if you get lower.
Okay.
Unfortunately, with that disadvantage, you were going to miss because I did an 11.
All right. Okay. And if I move back now, I will get hit with an opportunity attack.
They could take attack opportunities against you. However, they will have disadvantage because they are attacking with melee around a corner.
I'll take the risk.
Gotcha. Neither of them take it.
Okay.
So
And that'll do it.
number 2 is going to attempt to grab Miss E and stab her in the shoulder. Where did my skeletons go? Here. Unfortunately for the skeleton, they are going to miss as Cassandra's tail wraps around your waist, Missy, and yanks you back, causing the knife to miss you by a couple inches.
Wow.
You can see Cassandra's teeth are bared, and she is not looking happy about the situation. That brings us to Noir. Noir is very happily going to dance his happy butt over here. He is going to come power sliding in, playing a song, and he is going to jump into the air onto Tulio's shoulder, and he is going to cast a spell. But he is singing his little song. It is in meows. Sounds a lot like a Meow Mix commercial. As Tulio, you are going to regain 23 HP. And then he is going to tabaxi run away.
That brings me back up to full.
Neither the skeletons are going to take the attack of opportunity. Which brings us to number 1, who's going to try to stab at Talia. They are going to hit Talia in the chest, dealing 5 damage to Talia. Talia is going to become bloodied and have disadvantage on their next attack. Tulio.
All right, Tulio will summon 3 of the pebbles from his body into his hand, charge them with the magic, and use his sling to whip it at number 4.
Okay.
And I'll miss.
It is indeed going to miss. As you also have disadvantage on that. Because you're also admitting.
Isn't the sling melee range slightly?
No, it's a ranged
Yeah,
weapon.
sorry.
You throw a rock at somebody.
Yeah, I was just checking to see what the range for being regular attack was, but it doesn't even
You're
matter.
not getting disadvantage from that. It's because there's 2 skeletons standing next to you, making it hard to aim.
Yeah.
Anything else from Tulio?
Nope.
That brings us to a skeleton. They are going to jump on Cassandra's back and attempt to shank her in the neck. They are going to hit her for 6 damage. She is going to hiss, and she has disadvantage on her next attack. Which brings us to Talia. Talia is not happy about getting stabbed. She's going to whip around, the claws lengthening again, and she is going to go after this skeleton behind her. As her nails are going to tear through its chest. But it was a bad swing, so it's only surface level damage. Which brings us to Eric. Eric is going to use his halfling ability to run all the way over here. He is going to take aim at number 3, who he's got a shot at there. As it flies forward, he is going to hit his mark, get sneak attack off Cassandra, deal a total of 13 damage, which is going to bloody this one. He's moved 5, 10, 15, 20. Oh, do you have 20 feet or do you have 30 feet? Is that 25, so he can't get back, so he's going to have to stay there. Esler.
Excuse me.
I'm going to put 2 bolts into 3 and 1 bolt into 2.
One bolt into 3, 2 bolts into what?
No, 2 bolts into number 3 and a single bolt into number 2.
Alrighty, so 4 into 3 and 2 into number 2?
Yep.
Okay. That is going to bloody number 2. But they're still standing. Anything else from Hessler?
No.
Cassandra is
Can't do anything.
Cassandra is going to whip around, going back to back with Miss E, as she fires another bolt in front of her. She has disadvantage, so she's going to miss. Either way. Which brings us to Miss E.
Do I have disadvantage?
If you do a ranged attack, if you do a melee, you're fine.
Nah, I'm just using my rapier.
Then no, you don't have disadvantage.
I'm gonna go for number 2 still.
That is going to hit. You get sneak attack off of Tulio. That is going to be 11 damage, which you see is going to crack several of their ribs as you take a slice at them.
Yeah.
The bones are looking cracked and heavily damaged, but they are still standing.
Alright. That's all.
Alrighty. That brings us to Savar.
Okay. So I was going to go back over here. Just gotta look at the room. If it still looks bad. Let's see what I can do. I am going to cast Thorn Whip on number 3.
Okay. Is that a save or is that a hit?
It's a melee attack.
It's a melee attack? That's got to be a
30-foot range.
ranged. Roll the spell?
No, it says melee spell. It says melee spell attack.
Spell description.
That's a 14.
Huh. That's weird.
In my mind, I just assume it's just like a mass extension of my own arm. Does a 14 hit?
I'm trying to figure out if that's melee or not. So disadvantage, because that's definitely ranged, but also definitely melee.
Let's say make a melee spell attack against the target.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking into it.
That's not 30-foot reach, so
Huh. Yeah. You don't have disadvantage. Who are you going at? Number 3?
yeah, number 3, the bloody one.
Alrighty, and you don't have disadvantage. That's a 14. So that is going to hit. Do me damage.
Okay. And I'm assuming it's not a large creature, so I'll put 10 feet closer to me.
It wouldn't actually be able to, because it would go into Cassandra's or Tulio's square.
I can pull it over here, right?
No, its line would hit Cassandra first, or if it gets through, it would hit Tulio.
Okay. All right.
If you were like one down, it would do it, but
Gotcha. All right, that's 5. That's 5 piercing damage.
alrighty, which
And
is
you'll
going to get
see
through.
like a whip extend out, and like I just crack it at the skeleton.
It does yank a little bit closer, but it does crash into Cassandra.
Gotcha. And my turn.
Alrighty. That is going to bring us to number 4, who is going to come. Actually, they're going to stay there and try to attack Hessler again.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
That's going to be a miss, as Hessler manages to boogie woogie out of the way. Graticus.
All right. Having learned from last time, I'm gonna get into the door and make a rapier attack instead. Can I make it through? 5,
Eric
10,
will cost 5,
15, 20,
Savar.
25.
So to get next to Tulio will be 25 feet of movement.
Okay, yeah, I'll do that. And I'll attack. What's the one on top? I can't see.
Number 2.
Number 2? Yeah, I'll attack number 2 with a rapier.
To make things easier for you, go into settings, graphics, and then click hover to show nameplate and bar overlay. It'll clear up the map for you significantly.
Then click what?
Graphics. Hover to show token nameplate and bar overlay.
Okay. All right. All good.
That way you'll have to hover over something with their mouse to see their HPs and whatnot.
Gotcha.
But it clears up the map so you can actually see what's going on and where people are.
Yeah, I like that. Okay. I'll attack with rapier on 2 then. Ignore the second one.
Alrighty,
Thanks,
that's
I
going
like
to hit.
that voice. Okay. There we go.
Alrighty, that is going to be 8 damage to number 2, which is going to destroy them outright as they collapse back into bones.
Lovely. Okay. Could I move up into that space?
Yep. Now
I have
that you can.
30. Yeah, I have 30. Sweet. I will do that.
You would get
And that'll
attack
do it for me.
opportunity for number 1.
I'll take it.
They are going to slash at you. They are going to hit you on the dot and deal 6 slashing damage. And you have disadvantage until the end of your next turn. Or no, until this turn. They have disadvantage until the end of this turn. No, it's next turn.
Okay. So my next attack on my next turn would be dealt, or I would have to do it with disadvantage.
Yeah, and if you take attacks of opportunity or anything.
Gotcha. Okay.
Alright, that brings us to the dead skeleton, which brings us to Noir, who's playing music in the back, ready to help if needed. That brings us to skeleton number 1, who is still dueling Talia. He is going to take another slash at her with the bone knife, but Talia is going to wait for him to make the stab at her. She's going to jump up onto the knife and slash the bugger in the face, or at least that's what she's going to attempt to do on her turn. Tulia.
All right. Hmm. All his range options aren't doing great. So Tulio is gonna dive at number 1 and try and grapple him.
Gotcha. Roll me athletics.
I have advantage due to my amorphous self.
Roll the ability.
You have advantage on ability checks to initiate or escape a grapple.
Cool.
Yet be.
You're looking for a 15. They got a 13, so you do manage to grapple them.
My arms just stretch and wiggle around him, binding him in place. Slime bondage.
All right. Anything else from Tulia?
No, that's it.
That's going to bring us back to this skeleton, who is going to continue to try to press the advantage into Cassandra using the momentum of the thorn whip to try to drive their dagger into him. Cassandra isn't quite able to get out of the way as she's trying to stop them from getting to Miss E. So she is going to take that hit, taking 4 additional damage. She is going to go into bloodied, and she has disadvantage on her next attack. Which brings us to Talia. Talia is still standing on this thing's wrist. She is going to lash out. She's unfortunately going to miss. Eric is still in the back. He's still got targeting on 3, which he's going to take. Short bow. He is going to hit the one fighting Cassandra, dealing 8 damage, which is enough to shatter that one, freeing Cassandra up. Which brings us to Hessler.
I got a question. I am carrying a shovel. I can use that as an improvised weapon, can I not?
Yeah, it'll be a D4 damage.
It's something. And
You
it's
won't
just
add
a attack
proficiency to
roll.
bonus. It would just be a strength check. Let me check the damage.
Great at those.
For any other object, there's no resemblance to a weapon, deals 1d4 damage plus strength. Okay, so yeah. So that is going to hit.
So for 3 points.
Okay, so you're going to do 3 damage to it. Alrighty, do you have vulnerability? That is actually going to do more damage than you would have expected.
Hooray for the powers of a gravedigger.
If only the grave diggers didn't live to be, didn't manage to get attacked by skeletons coming for their grave diggingness. Cassandra is
move up.
going to whip around now that Miss E is safe, having Radicus on one side. She is going to focus her attack on the one fighting Hessler. She still has disadvantage, though. So she is going to miss, but she no longer has disadvantage, which is handy. Which brings us to Miss E.
Okie dokie. I'm going to take a short bow shot at 4.
That is going to hit.
Yeah.
You get a sneak attack from Hessler for 10 total damage.
Ooh.
Anything else for Miss E?
Nope.
Alrighty, that brings us to Sabar.
Okay. These are undead, so poison spray is not going to work. I'm just going to. If I pull number 4, will I be able to pull him to this spot here?
If you move up, let me see. Where is the ruler? You'll move him to the left, not up.
Oh. Yeah, that's fine. All right, I'll cast Thorn Whip and bring him and see if I can bring him closer.
Gotcha.
Oh, I thought we just kind of. See, Thorn Whip, Thorn Whip, Thorn Whip, Thorn Whip. Aha. That hits.
That is indeed going to hit. 3
And
damage.
that's 3 piercing, and I bring him closer to that spot.
Yep, he gets pulled into that one.
Right, and my turn.
He is now flanking Talia. So he is going to take
Oh.
advantage to use the momentum to try to drive it into Talia's back while she's not looking. Does Talia?
Sorry, Talia, I thought your turn was next.
It is going to miss as Talia hears it coming and jumps up, almost the skeleton almost stabbing his compatriot in the face. As Talia is now airborne, and she's about to drop onto it like a meteor. Atticus.
All right, I'm gonna go down, get closer to the one on the bottom, and hit with a rapier with disadvantage.
Yep.
Let's see. Hold on, it got boot me out of the campaign. Here we go.
Oh, I love it when that happens.
Okay. Never happens ever, does it? And I think that was with disadvantage, I believe, yeah?
I think it
Yeah.
shows one roll.
Yeah, there was only one. I
For
need
me.
one more.
Interesting.
That is going to miss.
Okay. Oh well.
That brings us to Noir, who's stuck in the back with too many people in front of them. Brings us to a skeleton. The skeleton is grappled, and annoyed that they are grappled, is going to try to shank Tulio. As they slash out at your ooze with their knife, they are going to miss. I think. Tulio, what's your AC? Yeah, it's a miss. Tulio.
AC is 15.
Yeah, that's why I said it missed.
All right.
Should also point out number 4 is bloodied, as its bones are heavily cracked.
I'm gonna throw one of the rocks I have at him. I can just throw them one like
You'll still be at
just like
disadvantage,
that.
though.
Yeah.
That is going to hit. Who are you throwing at? Number 4?
Number 4.
That's
Yep.
going to hit. That is going to do more damage than you were expecting for a total of 12, as it is going to shatter as you catch it full in the face, and the skull goes to bits.
It doesn't have my spellcasting modifier. That's annoying. One second, I gotta fix that. But it should have done more damage.
Yes, it should have.
Plus my casting ability. So
It's dead either way, so.
yeah.
So anything else from you?
No, that's it.
That brings us to Talia, and while they're doing that, you can go ahead and fix that. Talia is going to strike out. They're going to miss. Eric is going to dash forward, moving this way. They are going to switch to their dagger. Or not their dagger, their short sword. They're going to take a swipe at the one that is covered. He is going to miss, so then he's going to step out of their spice, giving them an attack of opportunity. They are going to miss as Eric rolls from under y'all's feet. Hessler.
Well, now that I actually have some breathing space. Oh, I don't have disadvantage anymore. Awesome. So I hit that guy. I will shoot number 1.
Alrighty, that's going to hit.
For 3 points of fire.
3 fire damage. Anything else?
Does someone have the amulet, or is it just on the ground? Or the bracelet?
It's on the ground at the moment. Like right at your feet.
Oh, I'll just pick it up then. May as well.
Gotcha. Is that the end of your turn?
That is the end of my turn.
That's going to bring us to Cassandra, who's going to launch a bolt and miss again. Cassandra's not having a good time. Miss E.
Let's see. One, my bow.
That is also going to miss. Savar.
Blue.
Blue da ba dee da boo da.
My turn already?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh. Sorry, I lost that for a second.
You're good. What's he up to, Savar?
Let's see. Poison spray is not going to work. I want to save my spell slots. I'm just going to go over here. I'll take the opportunity attack if he tries. If the skeleton tries.
He is not going to. He is a bit distracted.
Okay. Well, let's see if he likes this. And that misses.
But anything else?
No, I'm good.
Alrighty. The party is finding it hard to get a good shot in on the skeleton with Tulio's arm wrapped around its torso. That brings us to Radicus.
Second time's a charm. I'm gonna try hitting again with rapier. And let's see. Yeah, I think I got the toggle working now, so let's try this.
That is going to miss.
Nope, still didn't. Okay.
As you're trying to avoid Tulio's squishy flesh.
I'm not hungry.
Which brings us to the skeleton, who is going to try to stab Radicus. They are backed into a corner, but not willing to bow down. I think that might be a hit. That is going to be a hit and deal 3 damage to Radicus. And you will have disadvantage until the end of your next turn on attacks. Tulio!
All right. Julio. Is gonna take the hammer from his one of the hammers from his belt and try to smack this thing on the skull.
Alrighty, it's not a
It's
fighting
just
hammer,
like-
it's just a normal one. Improvised hammer. Okay.
Improvised hammer.
Make a strength check.
All right.
That is unfortunately going to miss as they step out of the way. You find having one arm wrapped around it, it's kind of hard to get this thing in position with your friends also launching attacks on every side.
That's all Tulio can do. I need a better weapon.
It's going to bring us to Talia. Talia is going to take a swing. They're going to hit. They're going to do a total of 10 acid damage as it sizzles over the skeleton's bones, damaging it profusely, but it is still standing. Which brings us to Eric, who is going to step here, switch back to his bow, stowing his sword back in his sheath. He is going to take the shot and miss. Hessler. The party is really having issues getting past Julio's arm. There's the hit, but for 1 damage.
Tried.
Hey man, you're doing better
I
than
could
the
have
rest of
gone
the
in
party.
with trouble again.
But anything else from Hessler?
No.
As Cassandra's going to take sure shot, but she takes careful aim and lets out a decent shot, catching it full in the chest for 22 damage, shattering its upper torso completely around Tulio's arms. Which ends the combat. You can see the party is breathing hard after their short surprise attack from the skeletons.
I'm starting to realize why the sewers have been unoccupied for so bloody long.
Oh, he did get something out of it.
Hessler, now that you get a better look at it, you think this little band could be worth, it's rather common piece, but an old piece, somewhere between 80 to 100 gold just for this piece.
Not much for a bit of a death-defying, but it's still worth a good 100 or so. Probably around 90 unless we find a collector.
If there are undead down here, that would explain why the goblins have that door barricaded. If the goblins are the ones that barricaded it.
Yeah.
Is everyone all right?
Cassandra, eat.
We'll go ahead,
Yeah,
Hessler.
we'll see. You sure no one else came down here at all?
Not sure. All we have is reports of individuals finding the door and then bringing it back up to us.
Nothing from Candlekeep at all. I know it's rare to hear anything from them. They're a
As
bit
far as I
secretive
know.
at times.
Not as far as I know, but I don't know much about the Candlekeep. The Adventure Society doesn't deal with them unless they need to.
No. Too damned expensive.
Indeed. And they only let people in that have purpose.
Yep.
So certain scholars have been there, and I've been to Candlekeep myself, but it's been a good while. You see your eyes briefly flash over towards Miss E for a second.
Mm-hmm. But Candlekeep, I'm still not super familiar with it as a
It's-
whole.
It's a place for researchers. All of the world's histories, magical texts, and everything that is known tries to get written down there. The best place to go if you want to find something out. It's down south of Baldur's Gate.
Oh,
Those who are destroyed, knowledge with ink, fire, or sword, are themselves destroyed. The keep and fount of all knowledge in the realm. If it can be found, it's there. But who knows what they've been doing. Found a token in the other room.
Unfortunately,
I'm
Candlekeep doesn't have all knowledges. Just those that are known to the common folk and those that are still moving. There's a lot they don't know.
They try. They do a damn good job of it, at least, more than others I know.
Indeed.
But why would a Candlekeep like thing be here with goblins or around them, or even just in here and this far deep in the sewers? Like, I don't know. What if there's something hiding in here we don't know about? Something, I don't know, knowledgeable? You would know more than me, Hessler. But, yeah,
They
I'm curious.
they do occasionally send out expeditions, but those are well way above our caliber.
And besides these goblins, I haven't heard anything about anyone else coming down here recently, so I guess now people are starting to wonder what the hell this place is.
Indeed. How is the party holding up? Do we need to rest before moving on?
I think it'd be a wise choice.
I'd say so.
If anyone needs, I can be on guard. I haven't really taken any damage.
And then let us take
Yeah,
some
I can
time
help
to
too.
rest in here. It's either we rest here or back in the original room. Here we have nowhere to retreat to, but we're less likely to be run into.
I guess the door's too much in shambles.
Indeed.
I mean, if we want, we could probably get that pile of goo that's left of the goblin out of there and hold up in there. That door's still pretty solid,
That is fair.
but we'd have to deal with the stink.
Could help dissolve most of that if you wished.
Ooh.
Personally, I think it'd be
I think
better
we
to
should go
risk the
back
front
there.
door.
Front room, we can always retreat back into the sewers.
If we don't know what else is in here, and if we need to retreat, we're gonna need a way out.
Point.
So head back to the main room for now.
There's a nod from Cassandra. Eric and Talia are the first one to head back, along with Noir, who helps up on a bench.
As we're passing by the other room, I'm like, say, I don't think that any of the feral goblins would be so learned in writing, would they? This one's different. Well, I mean, he's as dead as the others now, but still different.
There's always outliers. It could have been smart, or it could have just. The goblins are weird. They do weird things. Could have just found it as loot, but who knows?
Well, I mean, it's not as if there's only ever feral goblins. I've had dealings with plenty of goblin merchants.
And then
But
you find anything good?
Few things. Some of them are actually quite good artificers. Their tiny hands are good at making small, subtle objects.
but but that goblin, if even if they were, I don't know, more civilized or educated, they didn't seem to speak common. And I feel like most civilized and merchants and things like that would speak common at least. So that's why I'm like confused.
Well, I was at the ass end of that engagement, but from context, he is there in that room writing his weird, strange goblin notes. His friends, as I look as Tolio looks around at the four dead goblins around here, are out here doing whatever they were doing before we barged in.
We didn't give him a chance to speak either, other
Yeah.
than gobbledygook. But
Yes, we could have just killed a goblin scholar for all we know. But
That's what I'm
Julia
thinking.
looks over at Cassandra. That would be unfortunate, would it not, to have killed a goblin scholar?
It would, but in the situation, at best, we can look at if that was one of the more civilized goblins and they're down here, they could be using him for their own gain, or they could have been captive. There's no way to know for now.
Fair point. I guess we will only know when we get the paper as I took translated. Hopefully, someone in town can translate goblin.
Imagine somebody can somewhere, and if need be, I can use magic to assist. I spent a lot of time in Candlekeep trying to do research of my own, and I picked up a couple of tricks while I was there.
Oh, that reminds me. Did anyone get those rubbings of those runes?
Unfortunately, not. They're too
Didn't
small
have
I
to
don't think
crush.
they got the
Yeah.
chocolate.
A resounding no.
Cassandra
We
said
could
they
use.
were too small to get proper runes, rubbings, as the charcoal wouldn't deal well with how small the runes were.
I could use the ink to make ink process.
Maybe. It may be worth after we've cleared this place. But the
I
danger needs to come
suspect,
first.
though. Yeah, and those might be extremely complex.
Can,
It took a while before I saw any repeating symbols. We could spend a few days working at it just to get everything.
Hessler, you didn't see any repeating sigils at all.
can the all-purpose tool be turned into calligraphy tools?
Yeah, you still need to get inks and whatnot, but
Well, we have ink.
yeah, you can turn it in calligraphy tools. It's smart tool.
What about painting tools? Like, can it really turn into like any tool I need?
Mm-hmm.
That is very useful.
Not any tool, it's specifically artisan tools. So, like the
I think you can
herbalism
make
kit, surprisingly, isn't artisan tool.
Yeah, and I don't think it can make consumables. Like, you can make yourself a brush, but you can't make paint.
Yeah, that's what I was like. We have the ink. I just need to use the tool to make a calligraphy tool.
We don't have a lot of ink.
But what will the party do as they settle in for their rest? Hessler, you see Noir starts playing soft music next to you.
Esther might actually start drifting off for a bit.
You all kind of see Savar kind of like take out some like equipment from his bag and begins making something food like.
I'm gonna.
Out of character, I have the chef's. Out of character, I have the chef feat.
Fair.
In character, I'm gonna look at Savar and go, "Hey, Savar, look what you got cooking over there."
I don't really know. I never actually name any of this food I create. All food is the same to me.
I mean, does it taste any good? Are you willing to share later?
Sure. Yes, I will be willing to share. I say as you see like a rat come near me, I grab it and then I snap its neck.
Oh,
All right, this should be a good protein for the snack.
I, there. Wait, art, huh? I thought you worked with animals. You eat them too? You do it all? Or are there specific animals for eating and specific ones for friends? I'm confused.
Oh no! That was Solivar. That was Solivar. He was near his expiration date anyway. I only kill those that are near their end.
Oh, I get it. That's like a mercy kill. I understand. Okay, cool.
Yes, rats are.
Helps that they're all tasty.
Remember, animals always have their Animals have their purpose in life and death. When they're alive, they are friends, not enemies, or vermin, as the upper side calls them.
With most things, as long as they don't bite me, then we're all good.
Oh yes, don't let the rats bite you. They have many diseases.
Oh my.
I mean, they live in the sewer. What are you expecting?
True, Yeah, I just try not to think about the grossness of the sewers when I'm in it, I just kind of try to block it out to a degree.
Yeah, I kind of
I
make
don't think I have any.
like some kind of like bar food out of like some plants and the rat matter. So you can all use an addition. So you can all gain an additional D8 extra hit points if you all want it.
Yeah,
If you use hit dice, I believe it is.
Well, it says like yeah. And it's like during the short rest, and if you spend one or more of your hit die, you gain an extra 1d8.
Yeah.
Cool. Out of character, can we roll our hit die?
Yeah. Is there anything else y'all would like to do during y'all's short rest? Hessler's taking a nap. Missy's sitting with Cassandra. Eric and Talia are chatting. Noir's giving y'all some musical accompaniment.
Tulio will go up to this desk here and place that necklace he found on it, and he's going to take his all-purpose tool and turn it into a hand crank buffing wheel to clean up all the tarnishment and make it look nice.
Fair enough. I'll give you that after the short rest as to what it actually is. But is that all for the party?
That's all for me.
I must sit.
Yeah. I'll just
Alright.
cuddle.
Then, as the party whiles away an hour, letting their strength recuperate, that for tonight is where we're gonna leave it, as y'all still have a good bit of adventuring to do. Good job, you guys.